Hello, it's Randy Dakin and welcome back for another video. Today I've got 3 replays to show you in the tier 10 French premium medium tank Murat. Now this is a deadly weapon, this tank. It can be fantastic in the right hands. It's got awesome mobility and it's got a deadly free shot autoloader, 390 alpha per shot. Got fantastic shell velocity on those standard APCR with almost 1600 shell velocity. You then got 1100 shell velocity on your heat mounts, which is good for heat rounds with 330 alpha, and decent concealment, topped off with 12 degrees of gun depression. So this is a tank I really do enjoy. Here we are for the first replay then on Sand River. We get off to a flying start, managed to pen our first clip, which is always a nice way to start the game. Now we're on reload, waiting for another opportunity to get another shot in there. So there's lots of tanks crossing. If we can reload shortly, we should be able to pick up some more damage, which we do. We get an opportunity to put one into that heavy tank, which we don't get spotted for. And like I say, playing a ridge like this is fantastic for this tank because you've got that 12 degrees of gun depression. You can just play the ridges just so well. We then pen our next 3 shots. So far for this game, we couldn't have asked for a better start. 6 shots fired, 6 pens, already up to 2000 damage. Back on reload, no real reason to move because we shortly should be able to get some more shots once we're off of this reload. Enemy Death Star crosses and we get 1 shot into that Death Star there for our 7th pen, and now we're just waiting for an opportunity to see if we can get some more shots in. Obviously it's team destruction, so we don't have to worry about the cap circle, and our team's got some pretty decent map control right now. And we then got our 3rd shot in, and I think we pen all 9 shots. So far we've had 3 shots at 3 clips with 9 pens, so off to a good start with 3400 damage, 1100 assistance, and our team are starting to take the lead. And I sense an opportunity now to push forward from my initial position to try and get into the ridge and spot for my friendly team. Because if you look see where our light tank is on our right hand side, it's sort of A3, he's cleared that area up, so I know that there's no real reason for me not to move this ridge. There's no enemy artillery, so this is again going to be in a really good position. I do bounce a shot off the tortoise, which you can do in this Murat because it doesn't technically have good armour, but because you've got that 12 degrees of gun depression, you can get some really good angles in when you're on the ridge lines, and you can actually bounce shots off of your turret because of that. So I'll keep poking here while I'm on reload, just to try and extend the vision. Any tanks like this on Chieftain, for example, on the top, we want to keep spotted to try and pick up a bit of assistance into him. Put another 2 shots into that Chieftain, looking to try and drop our final clip into that tortoise, which we do, putting them onto a 2 shot, putting us onto 5000 damage and 1500 assistance. With still 10 tanks in the game, so at this point I'm thinking, I could be on for a good game here. There's still quite a chunky amount of hit points left, and if we can just land a couple more clips, we could do well here. Looking to try and finish off that tortoise to get rid of that angle. We put 1 in through the cupola. We try and get the 2nd shot in. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit flush on the cupola and we bounce, but we do get the 2nd shot in now, putting that tortoise on a definite 1 shot, whilst we go back onto reload here. But this is where the game starts to just get away from us. For no fault of our own, the enemy team just start to collapse because they've lost kind of all control of the map, and the damage just goes fast. So while there's lots of shots we can shoot at, we're on the reload, so we haven't quite been able to get the shots in. We do get 2 shots there into that enemy heavy tank, looking again to get the final shot in to kill the tortoise, but it doesn't unfortunately finish him off, which is a shame. On our reload now with 6400 damage, and the game is going to be over very, very quickly. I'm just hoping I can land at least 1 more clip in to put us over the 7000 mark here. But it's now 14 versus 3, and this game is done. So we do manage to get 2 shots into this Chieftain, and then hopefully try and finish him off, but gets taken out. We do manage to finish off the Yag on 100 there. Bring us into the first replay. Like I said, the game just started to really crumble towards the end. But we do get 1 kill, 7,400 damage. So we had a decent game there with 3,500 assistance. So we got over 10k combined there with the high caliber and the first class. So a decent first game to start off with. Annoyingly, I had a fantastic game in this tank, but it didn't record, so I haven't got that to show you today. But I do still have 2 other decent games to show you. So let's move on to the second replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for replay number 2. This time we are on Sunset Coast, and we are platooned up with our pal Swindle 321 in his medium. There's 1 enemy artillery, 1 enemy light tank, and quite a few tank destroyers in this matchmaking. So initially we're going to go to sort of the B1 area. Now, I did only plan to just be there at my initial position, see if we can get any cross shots in or do any damage, and then progress from there. But this enemy T-49 comes in, and he puts himself in a very, very aggressive position, but actually quite a good position as it turns out, because it's going to make things very, very difficult for myself and Swindle, because every time we poke, this light tank is going to detect us. And now if he's got a lot of tanks covering him, we have to be very, very careful, because we're also going to get detected, and it's going to hinder me slightly from being able to move on from this position. As you can see, the enemy artillery, the enemy fun police, is looking for shots into us. I do have this rock which will protect me mostly from the artillery, unless he gets a very lucky shot in, or I do get caught out looking for a shot and then he pens me. It's going to keep me somewhat protected. But this enemy T-49 is the bane in our game at the moment, and we need to try and take him out. But look, there's no real way of me doing so, because I'd have to move wide left in order to get the shots in. But if he's got tanks covering him, you know, I'm not going to last very long. Enemy UDES does get spotted coming out though. We get a nice track shot in, and that tank, we managed to take him out with the help of our team, picking up a kill and getting back onto that reload. And this is going to be one of those games where we're going to have to be quite patient, because as enemy tanks moved up into the sort of B3, just where that UDES just came from, we know there's tank destroyers there because they just got detected. That means if I push forward, I'm going to get lit by the light tank, then shot by those TDs, and we're going to have to stay patient in this game, which is not something I'm best practiced at. I sometimes get a bit bored and want to start moving forward. But the TDs get spotted. We opt to go for the grill because we know we're going to pen the grill, and we're going to try and get our 3 shots in. And we do so, putting that grill now onto a clippable tank, so I can take him out in 1 clip, putting this onto 1,700 damage. Now, I believe that enemy light tank does get taken out, which is fantastic for us, because that means we can move further forward to try and get shots in without running with less risk of getting detected. But with that E4 and that grill still in that location, we've got to be very, very careful. Grill gets put down onto 1 shot. We're looking for the kill on the grill, but we don't quite have that. We're just looking to see where we can find shots in. Hopefully we can get this Centurion here as he escapes, but we kind of just fluff our shots completely. We got 1 shot in, and we thought, you know what, let's go for the blind fire, see if we hit that enemy E4. And we do hit the enemy E4, or we at least hit something there with our blind shot, which is always nice. Now, if I was in a single fire tank right now, I would probably be constantly firing shots that way, hoping to try my luck and pick up some more damage or find out exactly where they are. But the problem I've got is I'm on a clipper, and I don't really want to waste my shells doing that, because it'd be great if it comes off, but if it doesn't, I'm going to waste shells doing so. But we do pick up a kill on that enemy pattern, putting us onto 2 kills. Enemy E4 does get spotted here, and we put 2 shots into his lower plate, putting him onto, again, a clippable position and damaging his ammo rack, which is always good. Probably burnt his repair kit there if he has one. So we're now on 2 kills, just shy of 3,000 damage, with 10 tanks remaining in this game. So it's still very, very close. I don't want to throw it away, and our friend Swindle actually got taken out from that area, and he also kind of told me there's a lot of tanks there, because he died almost instantly. And that gives me information that there's perhaps more than this enemy grill and enemy E4 there. There is an enemy waffle on this game, I think 2 waffles. So that's a tank I've got to be very, very careful. We do take out the grill there, picking up our 3rd kill of the game. And we're looking to try and find some shots into this enemy Type 4. Like I say, this replay, I've kind of been in the same location for so long, which is the opposite on the next replay coming. But I thought it gives a bit of a balance that, sometimes you do just have to be patient, and that's just how it is, unfortunately. We get a nice shot in this E4. We don't have any more shots. We're going to go through his hole there, which really I should have just waited, because he probably was going to get backed up, and then I could have got a clearer shot. Like now he's moving back. If I'd have waited, I would have had an easier shot. Could have tracked him in place and tried to take out that E4 there. But maybe I was a little bit impatient on the trigger. But we're on 3 kills, 3,000 damage. Haven't had to, it's been okay, but we've done pretty much all we could really do. And we do now manage to hopefully finish this E4, picking up our 4th kill, bringing us into a 9 versus 7, and slowly starting to take the lead now in this game. Bringing us on to 4,000 damage with 4 kills, trying to find the angle onto that Type 5. I think it is that sort of time now where I need to start moving forward if I want to get some more out of this game. So I'm thinking about trying to move to basically where I killed that grill, E4 on that grill. But as the second that happens, I'm about to do it, and then the waffle gets spotted, and we're going to try and finish him off. Unfortunately, gets just into cover before we're able to do so. Now, I'm glad I spotted him then, because if I'd have got spotted a little bit earlier, but that waffle might have just evaporated us if he was wasn't on reload. That waffle does now get taken out, puts us on to 4,600 damage on 4 kills. With only 5 tanks remaining. 2 of our tanks are going through the enemy base right now. I am going to try and move forward and see if we can kill this enemy Type 5. We get 1 shot into Type 5. Hopefully we can have the finish here, which we do. Picking up our 5th kill, giving us an opportunity to pick up a top gun, maybe even a Devastator if we're lucky. 2 remaining tank destroyers, well, 2 of the remaining 3 tank destroyers get spotted. Another Waffle 100 on full health. And we're going to try and just get down there, use the mobility of this Murat to see if we can get any last remaining damage in this game. As that happens, an enemy S-Bahn gets spotted. We get 1 shot in here. Hopefully we can try and land another shot. If he keeps driving, we're going to hold off for that opportunity. We do get that shot in, not able to finish him off before he gets into cover. Which just means it's getting more and more unlikely that we're going to get the Devastator medal. But just maybe we can pick up the Top Gun. There's only 2 tanks left in this game. Waffle 100, who just got absolutely evaporated. And then this enemy Italian Tier 9 tank destroyer. We're just going straight in. We've got loads of hit points. We don't mind him shooting us here. We just want to get behind it and the side of him, because the hull reverse on this tank is very, very bad. And we do pick up the Top Gun, putting us on to 7,000 damage with 6 kills in the end. Like I say, a bit more of a patient game in that one, but this 3rd one is a lot more moving about and a bit more action. So we get 6 kills. We do get the Ace Tanker and the High Caliber. But that is it for replay number 2, and let's move on to that final replay. Okay, so here we are for the final replay on Live Oaks, where there is 1 enemy light tank and 1 enemy artillery, and other than that, a fairly balanced matchmaking. We are platooned up with our Power Swindle 321 again, who is in the TVP, and we go on to have a good game. And I quite enjoyed this game, mainly because it involved a bit of teamwork, of working together with your platoon mate, and that's always quite enjoyable when it comes off and you have those good games together. So initially we are going to play the tracks area. I'm going to go quite far wide here, in the hope that if these tanks get detected, I can try and use a position where I can utilise the concealment of this tank to get some clips in. But I'm just going to try and work out that position here. So I'm going to, I get detected here, and what I really should be doing, I eat some damage there, which is not ideal. I want to try and go a little bit wide to that and use the bushes, so I can try and shoot through 3 bushes, and then maybe I won't get detected. Enemy artillery is looking for a shot, which is not ideal. But now we've lost our detection we're going to try and get to position. As you see, I'm going very, very wide. It's kind of a knack to getting behind all 3 bushes. Now that's going to increase my concealment. As you can see now, I'm not getting detected when I fire. And that's really what I was aiming for, because now I've got free farm on the tanks which overpoke to shoot our friendly teammates. Because the majority of our team have come this way, and there's not much gone the other side, which is okay, but we just need to be alert to that fact that we may have to either go back, may have to push further forward and win one side quickly. We don't really want to, if we are going to have to go back, we want to win this side first, ideally, so we don't end up getting trapped. We get 2 shots into that Conqueror there. Unfortunately, the 3rd shot doesn't pen, that does track him in place. And there's quite a few tanks here for us to fight. Now our team are starting to come in a bit closer. I'm not going to go in just yet, just because I have a second angle right now. If I move in to help, I think I'm helping more by just keeping this angle, because it's stopping the tanks come far wide on our team. But eventually I probably will have to move in a little bit further. But just for the time being, I'm going to try and get a couple of clips in, and just to prevent the tanks coming wide. If they poke for shots wide, like these tanks here on the left, I will then have shots into them. Still very, very even doors. We're 1 tank down, but it won't take long to bring that back. Looking to try and get the finish on this Conqueror if we can. Trying to just find a slim shot. Keeps backing up. I might have the shot. We do, and we take out the first enemy tank, and then we're going to try and drop our remaining tanks into his enemy Super Conqueror there, and we pick up 3,000 damage and 1 kill now, so a decent start. But as you can see, it's time for us to move forward. Sorry, this is actually the assault variant, which I should have said. So we don't actually have to worry about going back to cap the base, which is quite nice. So now I am going to try and move forward. Again, it's still a very, very even game, 13 versus 13. We have a decent start, though, because we've kept the majority of our hit points and managed to get 3,000 damage out. And hopefully we're going to try and use some more. Now, this area is obviously really good. Just using any ridge lines in this tank, any map with ridge lines is just fantastic, especially sort of the big open games where you can try and utilise your concealment at the end and the mobility. We're going to hopefully lean over and take these tanks out here. We do manage to drop another 3 shots in, put us under 4,300 damage with 1 kill. And it's now, we have taken a lead, and it's 13 versus 10. I feel like the majority, well, a lot of the enemy team have started to push through to where our spawn is. But what we're going to do is try and push forward here to try and spot the enemy tanks. Now, this is a really good position to use on live oaks. However, you've got to be careful in this scenario, in this specific scenario, because enemy tanks have started to win the other side on the right-hand side. That means if they do win that side, we will kind of be sat in the middle of the map here. If we have the right-hand side as well, then you're safe, because you don't have to worry about getting shot from that angle. But that is something we've got to concern ourselves with somewhat. But I am just going to try and get some shots in where I can, and just keep these tanks detected, before we move, because we want to try and get as many shots in as we can. Do get that shot in, putting us on to 5,000 damage and 1 kill here with Swindle. And you can see we're backing up here because we are hesitant that we have lost the other side. So I'm kind of communicating with Swindle. I think we should go back now to the tracks and try and deal with the enemy tanks which are coming in the background for us. This enemy E100's got caught out in the open to the swamp. We've got good concealment. We're shooting through bushes here. We're going to try and track him in place. You see, I'll go for the track there, hoping to pick up some track assistance. Unfortunately, I haven't really picked up much track assistance at all. Maybe it would have been better just dumping my clips into his lower plate and picking up more damage. But I was hoping we could just try and pick up some assistance. So we're now in 11 versus 8, or 10 versus 8 now, where we got 5,600 damage and 1 kill. And there's 7 tanks remaining. This enemy light tank, I may get an opportunity to clip this tank out, and if I can, that is a tank I want to take care of. Gets rid of some of the enemy vision. So I'm going to wait for an opportunity, because it looks like it's going to present itself. He actually gets hit by me and the enemy artillery and taken out there. Putting this now into a 7 versus 5. We're picking up our 7th kill of the game, and now we're in the 7th kill of the game. Picking up our 2nd kill of the game, and now we're in the 7 versus 5. With me and Swindle here. Now this enemy autoload heavy tank here, this Progetto, We and Swindle are communicating, saying, right, let's time our reloads and let's go in and we can just kill him together. Swindle's about to put his full clip in. I'm now reloaded and I should be able to finish him off, so we take minimal punish for doing so. And together we take that tank out very, very quickly with 2 autoloaders. Putting us on to just shy of 7,000 damage with 3 kills now. Into a 5 versus 2. There is an enemy Tyrann and an enemy Leopard. Now the Tyrann's obviously very, very dangerous tank. He's just killed our Object 257, which puts us back into a 4 versus 2. But we know pretty much where they are, and we're trying to get there as quick as we can in our mobile medium tanks to try and get some more damage in. Again, I'm still on 1500 damage, which is good because I can actually eat a shot from the enemy Tyrann, which is obviously going to help us quite nicely. And we're going to just try and get over there, because this game does go, it gets a little bit closer quite quickly as we try and make our way, because it's now in a 3 versus 2. But the Tyrann does get spotted. Unfortunately, my shot doesn't hit there. I've only got 2 shots remaining. I've said to Swindle, look, let's push this Tyrann because he's probably trying to retreat. And together, if we catch him out in the open, you know, with my 2 shells and Swindle's full clip, we should be able to take him out. And then that just leaves us into a, you know, just against a Leopard. We're in a 3 versus 2. One of our tanks is the artillery. But we've got to be a little bit careful because we don't want to throw this game away. We have had a good game. We do spot the Tyrann before he gets out into cover. We get 1 shot in. We get our 2nd shot in. And then Swindle should be able to finish him off there, putting us into a 3 versus 1. The Leopard's full health, so I'm thinking I could get over 8,000 damage here. But then the Leopard gets slapped by the artillery for 1,000 damage. And his hit points just disappear, which is a shame because selfishly I wanted to try and dump a full clip in. But we're going to try and get the ram here. But then the artillery fires. I hear it fire, so I take the shot because I do want to take the kill in the end. And that brings us to the end for the video. So let's just see how we got on in this replay. So me and Swindle both have a good game. I get 4 kills, 7,600 damage. Swindle gets 3 kills, just shy of 7,000 damage with like 3,000 odd assistance. He has a really good game. And we get the brother in arms. So yeah, that was an enjoyable game to play. Like I said, I did also have a really good game in this tank. I think I had like 8,500 or 6,000 with 7 kills on Live Oaks. It just didn't record. But hopefully you've enjoyed these replays today here. And that is it for the video. So thank you so much for your amazing support as always. Really does mean a lot. If you like the video, please remember to like and subscribe because it very much does help the channel. But yeah, if not, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!